We missed a week, but we're back for the Windy City Bulls weekly recap episodes in a week where Julian Phillips, Adama Sanogo, and even Justin Lewis and Dalen Terry all had big games. We got 4 games to recap. We're going to go ahead and get into it right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. But this time we're reviewing G League games and going on what's going down with the Windy City Bulls. Thank you guys. You guys can follow the show at Bulls Central Pod on every single social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. We got 4 games to recap, so this is going to be one of our longer episodes of the G League review for the Windy City Bulls. And so we got the first game happened last Sunday. This was the Bulls versus the Grand Rapids Gold is the name of the team. This went down last Sunday. There was no Dalen Terry, no Onolapa team, no Julian Phillips in this game, but it gave space for Adama Sanogo, Henry Drell, Quentin Jackson, and Chris Clemens to all shine majorly in this game. It was a win, 102-92 for the Windy City Bulls. Adama Sanogo in this game just continues to find a way to stuff the stat sheet. 19 points in this game, going 6 of 12 from the field, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 4 blocks from Adama Sanogo, and he continues to show just his ability to use his big body and long arms to just rebound the ball, get putbacks. He's a very efficient player. He understands how to play within himself, even though he has an ability to stretch the floor and shoot threes. I think at this point in time, Adama Sanogo has realized his speed to get that shot off is not going to work at the NBA level and even not in the G League level. And he's really adapted his game to operating more strictly down low and just bang those. Is that a pause? To just bang bodies down there and to really get off his shot, get putbacks, thrive off that. We got a big game from Henry Drell as well. 17 points, going 6 of 15 from the field, 3 of 8 from three-point range, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. And then the biggest performances of the night. Quentin Jackson with 21 points off only 10 shots, 3 for 4 from three-point range in this, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals from Quentin Jackson. That's a young 25-year-old guard/forward there who can really fill it up. And then Chris Clemens as well, 22 points, going 8 of 18 from the field, 5 of 11 from three-point range, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. This was a fun game to watch. And I think when you watch the G League games, for those that do actually watch it other than just watch my recaps, you really get some fun games. And this was one of those type of games where not a lot of the big names showed, well, as far as the names that we're looking for from the most from these teams. But listen, the Windy City Bulls came in, nice defensive effort as well, rebounding the ball extremely well in this game. And at the end of the day, Chris Clemens got his opportunity to shine. And that's one of the best things about watching G League for people who just enjoy the game of basketball. It's always somebody who really kind of stands out. And even if you don't know their name per se, it gives you something to look out for as you go and if you watch more G League games. I always say to everybody, if you're a basketball fan, got a down moment, you just are itching to watch some basketball, most time G League games are going to be that for it. Now, we had another game last week, or this past week, Tuesday. This was another Bulls win. This one was against the Wisconsin Herd. We had 2 games against them. We'll talk about that one. The Bulls won this game 123-96. Standouts in this one, Julian Phillips and Dalen Terry returned in this game, so it was really good to see them come back and make their return to the G League after having a stint some with the actual Chicago Bulls. But Justin Lewis had his best game in his return from ACL injury so far. He had 13 points of 5 of 7, 1 from 3 from three-point range, also 5 rebounds. Again, not anything that kind of jumps out at you, but extremely solid performance from Justin Lewis, seeming like maybe he's starting to get back in rhythm with that said as well. Then we also had Julian Phillips in his return, 16 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal from Julian Phillips in this game. And then Dalen Terry. Dalen Terry, upon his return, had his biggest game of the G League season this year so far. 22 points, going 7 of 13 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point range, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals from Dalen Terry, showing some of that ability to stuff the stat sheet that he did show at times last season in the G League. And really good, like seeing Dalen Terry when he is in rhythm and operating like that and getting other players involved, as well as his shot falling. Look, listen, we know that that even Kobe White has talked about how Peter Patton has helped him refine his shot. If Dalen Terry can start refining that shot and become a consistent shooter, he still has some problem creating space for himself. But that really is going to help him kind of do the other things in this game that work really well. Adama Sanogo as well in this game, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Thing that I said about earlier maintains, but Justin Lewis, outside of Dalen Terry's big game, Justin Lewis was the story here. This was the game where he seemed kind of the most comfortable in, and it was really good to see that, especially with him coming back from injury and things like that. Then we had another game against the Wisconsin Herd on Saturday. This was a Bulls win again, 110-102 in this. Standouts in this one, not really the players that you want to see. Julian Phillips, only 8 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist in this one. Justin Lewis, only 3 points in 19 minutes. Didn't really build off of the last game that he had. But Dalen Terry and Adama Sanogo in this game. Let me tell you, these two guys, you're starting to see Dalen Terry work himself in a rhythm, kind of like he had with Marko Simonovic, but with an even better player in Adama Sanogo. 25 points from Dalen Terry in this game, going 9 of 15 from the field, 3 of 7 from three-point range. Again, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals from him in this game. And Adama Sanogo, 20 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. I just said everything that I got to say about these two players specifically over the last couple of games that we talked about. Adama Sanogo he just understands his role. And we'll get into that in the recap. And Dalen Terry, good to see another big game from him as well in his return. Again, this is the second game in his return. And then we had the fourth game. This is a game that just went down tonight. We're usually not this up to date, but with 5 days off, they don't play again till the 15th. I wanted to go ahead and include this game as well. This was a game against the Motor City Cruise, and the Bulls actually lost this game 115-113. This was actually a fun game that came down to the wire as well. If I had to pick any game to tell you guys go and watch, even though the bigger names didn't really show up big time in this game, this would probably be the one. This was the funnest game of the G League's week so far for the Windy City Bulls. It was just a fun game. I don't even know how else to bring it to you guys. It was an extremely fun game to watch. They didn't pull it out, so of course that part of it sucks as well. But this is a game when you watch, it was competitive, and it was a game that you just, like I said, just had fun watching. But as far as the performances in this game, Ernalot Batim returned in this game. Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips were out. They're probably going to be traveling with the Chicago Bulls to play tomorrow, Monday, against the Milwaukee Bucks. So that may be something there. But the standouts in this game, Ernalot Batim in this game, and in his return from injury, going 3 of 8 from the field. Not the best shooting night from him. He did end up having a nice point split as well. 2 rebounds, 4 personal fouls in this game, which you want to look at, but he did have 12 points. And outside of that, it really wasn't kind of the bigger names that you guys, I'm sure, are looking for to be told in this one. None of the prospects that can actually come up to the NBA really had big games in this one. Justin Lewis didn't play very much. He went 0 of 1 from the field, ended up sitting down. Adama Sanogo, though, 13 points from him, 13 rebounds, 1 assist from him, and 2 steals. The thing with Adama Sanogo that always stands out as well, he always gets steals. Very head-up player. Quentin Jackson, 17 points in this one, but Chris Clemens had a huge night in this game. 37 points, going 13 of 25 from the field, 7 of 14 from three-point range, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in this game. He was the thing that kept the Windy City Bulls in this game as well. Max Hedengeiger as well had another big game upon his return. Also, he was out for a little while. 17 points, going 6 of 9 from the field in this game, and 4 of 7 from three-point range. So really big night from him. But that's really all the players that really, as far as that we're looking for, as far as on the G League prospects to come up. It wasn't really a big night for them, but a fun game nonetheless. That's what I said. If you just want to watch some good basketball, this was one of the funnest games that you're gonna see in the G League this past season. So really enjoyed watching that as well. But to go into the recap, overall, like what we're seeing from this Windy City Bulls team and some of the players that are definitely standing out from them is the same thing. Adama Sanogo is a monster at this level. Now, what does that mean for his NBA prospect? That remains to be seen, but averaging 27 minutes per game is he. 18 points he's averaging and 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1.5 blocks per game. Adama Sanogo is playing that more traditional big man role that we do see some players be able to play off the bench. He's not as athletic as like a Andre Drummond, for example, but he's a technically sound basketball player that you would like to think that even if the scoring doesn't translate for him, at the NBA level, one thing that you do see translating is the blocking shots because his timing's getting really good on that. He's adjusting to that part really well. The defense, the rebounding, and then he can score at least off putbacks because he's a solid enough offensive rebounder. He's averaging 5.5 offensive rebounds and 5.5 defensive rebounds per game. That offensive rebound thing could be why he can be a scoring factor in the NBA, averaging those offensive rebounds, and he's going to get putbacks off that as well. Then, of course, Dalen Terry, seeing Dalen Terry come back and perform in the 2 games that he played in, the way that he did, I think was really huge. Him kind of getting back in rhythm. That shot looks way better than what it did before he went down. So if that starts becoming a thing and a story for Dalen Terry on him being able to perform that way consistently, it's going to be, that's going to be help Dalen Terry actually get on the court. We already know he can pass, right? Especially in transition, things like that. Half court, not necessarily the best in, but he's a solid passer in transition. We know that he can also get steals, that he's athletic, can get up and down the court. He's also averaging basically 2 steals per game in the G League, so that's something definitely to look out for. And then Julian Phillips just continues to be Julian Phillips. Like, he's heads and shoulders above this level of competition, absolutely. He's averaging 17 points per game in 31 minutes played. He's also averaging 8.5 rebounds. Julian Phillips is a dog. And that's just what it boils down to, averaging almost a steal, almost a block per game as well. We already know what Julian Phillips can be. And Justin Lewis is finally seeming like he's starting to come along, right? He's starting to get back in rhythm after that ACL injury. And that was the biggest thing that we looked for from Justin Lewis was, okay, how he's going to respond coming back from that. And Ernelat Batim, listen, he's played 7 G League games for so far in this season, right? He was out for a little while. He's averaging 26 minutes per game, 11 points per game over that. But the thing that's kind of concerning with Batim to me is that he came in here and we thought, hey, he's going to be able to get that shot off. He's averaging 36% from the field and 34% from three-point range. I want to kind of see that increase. Again, that may be a timing thing, adjusting athleticism, things like that. Again, averaging almost 4 assists per game, which is really good for him, and also averaging almost 1.6 rebounds. Considering he plays out on that wing, that's what you can look at with that. So, at the end of the day, it's not terrible, it's not great either for Batim, but I think it always was meant to be an adjustment period for him coming back from this. So take that for what you will. Now, as far as this, we got our first voicemail we're actually going to play on the Windy City Bulls review. This one's from Reginald.
Hey, HAize, I know you're, this is Reginald. I know you're tired of hearing all these, Zach LaVine trade, suggestions. But, I want to talk about the Windy City Bulls, last game. Just, looking at it, I was seeing that, Julian Phillips had a good game. Justin Lewis also finally starting to get his shots falling. So you might be right about him, just having a bad string of games coming back from a ACL tear. But the one guy I want to talk about is Adama Sanogo, averaging a double-double. Even though he's undersized, what do you think his ceiling is? Because, right now, I think maybe Robert Williams if he's lucky. But with that being said, do you think the Bulls should still go after another center, a young center, to eventually replace Andre Drummond and Nikola Vucevic? Because I know it takes a couple of years to find a good replacement. But and also, do you think the Bulls should maybe give extensions, like 3 extensions to Drummond and Caruso? I definitely think they should. But what's your opinion? Thanks.
And so Reginald asking about Justin Lewis's shot. And I do think that, like I said, he's really starting to come back from that ACL injury. And it takes time, right? We see it at the NBA level. Some players take about a year before they're all the way back in rhythm after an ACL injury, and that may be what is going to be like for Justin Lewis. He is starting to come along here better in the last couple of games, so that's pretty good, right, for him. Didn't play in that last game today, so you want to look out for that. But overall, like I said, it comes down to it. He's averaging 5 points, 5 rebounds, so that's solid, right? Not anything earth-shattering or great. He also wasn't the type of prospect where you expect him to have this huge scoring output, so there's that part of it as well. But I still overall like what Justin Lewis has been given, and I just think get him some time to get back in rhythm, get him timing back. I think we're going to have a pretty good season from him. It's a great voicemail from you on that one, Reginald. But that's it for today. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls and Windy City Bulls around. Thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See Red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.